how do you prepare a feast? The word itself brings to mind images of long tables laden with delicious foods, goblets of wine, flickering candlelight, and animated conversation. There's something about the word that makes it sound so much more exciting than just a meal. But for the people who lived in medieval times, a feast was a common occurrence, enjoyed by all levels of society. In this video, we will show you how to throw your own medieval feast. For us moderns, a feast might be a rare treat, reserved for the most special of occasions, or perhaps only experienced in our dreams. Not only does this allow you to enjoy your time with your guests rather than slaving away over a hot oven, but it also allows any strong flavors to meld together and let the dish truly simmer and become even tastier than before. If you're feeling ambitious, you could even craft some wooden platters to give it an authentic feel. Most commonly, people would use their fingers to eat, so you may want to consider adding a hand-washing station for your guests. However, if you wanted to provide utensils, wooden spoons would be the most practical and easy to come by. You could also fashion some knives out of sharp pieces of bone, or even dedicate one of your serving platters as a cutting board for people to use. In the Middle Ages, roasts were a very popular choice for a special dinner. These could be made with real or fake flowers, as well as greenery like ivy or holly. If you really wanted to go all out, you could even hire someone to make a floral archway for you to walk through as you enter the party. These would have been made out of tin, iron, or wood, and you can find replicas online or at some specialty stores. Depending on the size of your budget, you could go all out and commission custom-made items. Or you could opt for more affordable store-bought options. Just like today, people ate to enjoy good food and good company, but they also liked to be entertained. Fill these with things like candy, nuts, or dried fruit. This way, when they walk in, they'll be greeted by the sight of everyone else seated at the table, ready to enjoy their meal. As the host of the party, you want to make a grand entrance to really set the tone for the evening. Some easy options include things like wooden swords, shields, and even just some basic board games. We all know that kids can be a handful at parties, so why not keep them entertained by setting up a kid-friendly area separate from the main feast? This could include things like a small table with child-sized chairs, where they can enjoy their own scaled-down version of a medieval meal. So how did people in the Middle Ages welcome their guests? This is a great opportunity to catch up with people you have unseen in a while, or to make new memories with loved ones. Often they would greet them with music and dancing, while others preferred to have their guests walk through an archway made of greenery or flowers. And voila, your guests will have a sweet treat to remember their night at your medieval feast. For this, you could hire minstrels to play music and maybe even tell some jokes. If you don't have the money for this, then not to worry. You can always put on some period music yourself and take requests from your fellow partygoers. They could feature anything from religious scenes to mythical creatures to historical battles. So while the food and decorations are all well and good, what really makes a medieval feast special is the sense of community and togetherness that it represents. This was often a whole animal, either a pig, sheep, or cow, that had been seasoned and then slow roasted, until it was cooked through and ready to be carved at the table. Here are some ways to decorate for your big bash. Now, this would certainly impress your guests. It isn't the easiest dish to prepare, nor is it the most practical for feeding a large group of people. However, if you're feeling crafty, you can make your own by following tutorials found on YouTube. What do we need? Let's start out with what will be the centerpiece of your meal, the main dish. This could include chunks of meat alongside root vegetables such as carrots, potatoes, and parsnips, as well as herbs and spices for flavor. It was hearty, it was filling, and it could easily be made in huge quantities to feed everyone at your feast. A simpler, more practical option would be a stew. No matter what you choose, make sure that your main dish is prepared well in advance of your party. Unlike today, there wouldn't be too many plates used during a medieval dinner. Most likely, your food would arrive on platters or in bowls that would then be taken away after they were empty. Time to set the table. While the main dish is preparing itself, let's set the table for our medieval feast. You can replicate this by placing a simple white tablecloth on your table and then arranging platters and bowls on it. As for eating utensils, well, these would have been pretty minimal as well. For drinks, flagons and tankards were all the rage during the medieval period. While we're setting the table, don't forget about the entertainment. Don't forget the decor. Medieval feasts were not only about the food, but also about creating a festive atmosphere. Garlands and floral arrangements were popular ways to spruce up a dining space. Another popular decoration was tapestries. These were large pieces of fabric that were hung on walls or used as backdrops for the main table. So you want to keep it simple, you can buy pre-made tapestries online. Let's get crafty. Speaking of crafts, here's another way to get your guests in the medieval spirit, by making them each a party favor to take home. Some ideas for party favors include things like leather pouches, small wooden boxes, or even just a piece of cloth. The perfect entrance. You can try to recreate this by having your guests arrive at a separate entrance from where the main table is set up. Don't forget the kids. You can also set out some toys and games for them to play with while the adults are eating. A toast to good company. The most important part of any feast is the company you keep. So when it comes time to plan your own medieval feast, remember to invite all of your friends and family. Don't forget to raise a glass and a toast to good company. Now it's time to hear from you. What would you add to your perfect medieval feast?